So this right here is what I've been practicing on and off for just about the last 4 years or so. And through learning to solve this cube and through finding friends who enjoy solving this cube as much as I do, and even finding entire communities behind this cube, I've learned quite a lot. And one thing I've learned about in particular is mental barriers and the whole concept of overcoming them. So what is a mental barrier? Well, as Google puts it, a mental barrier is a psychological barrier that is a belief that a person has about him or herself regarding their ability, potential, or self-worth. And the whole idea of overcoming a mental barrier comes back to telling yourself that there's no such thing as I can. Because you can always try, and as cliche as it might sound, anything can be done with the right mindset. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here talking, and this cube wouldn't be solved. So I believe that there are just a few simple steps that anyone can take to overcome any mental barrier. First, you visualize it. Then, you downplay it. Then, you set yourself a crazier goal. And then finally, you're done. So, let's go step by step a little slower. First, visualizing it. So here you try to imagine what you want. You imagine yourself accomplishing your goal. You imagine it right within your grasp. You try to put yourself into a state of mind where you've already completing it, essentially just trying to make it seem possible in your head. Next, you downplay it. You tell yourself, this is easy. It's no big deal. I can do this in my sleep. It shouldn't be as hard as I'm making it out to be in my head. Then, you set yourself a crazier goal. And here you try to one-up yourself. So you take your original goal and set yourself a goal even crazier than the first one, and that's what you work towards. You forget about your initial goal. That's nowhere anymore. All your work and effort goes into this crazier goal. And even if you don't accomplish this crazier goal, the effort that you put into it would still more than likely let you accomplish the first one. And then finally, you're done. So, let's put this into practice. At the beginning of this year, I had a really big Rubik's Cube competition coming up. Over 200 competitors, the biggest on the West Coast, and one of the biggest in the US. And I told myself, I want to solve the cube in under 10 seconds consistently at this competition. And I knew I could do it. I knew I was fully capable of it. But just something about the nerves at a competition always threw me off in the past. So I realized there was a mental barrier. So what did I do? Well, first, I visualized it. I pictured it being normal, and what I usually get. I put myself into a state of mind where I've already accomplished my goal, just making it seem possible in my head. It can happen. Then, I downplayed it. I said, I can do this at home consistently. I can just as easily do it at a competition consistently too. Then, I set myself a crazier goal. And I said, instead of trying to solve the cube in under 10 seconds, I want to solve the cube in under 9 seconds. And that's what I worked towards. I forgot completely about under 10 seconds. All of my work and practice went into under 9 seconds. And I knew that in the back of my head, even if I didn't get under 9 seconds, I'd still more than likely get under 10 from the work and effort that I put into it. And then I was done. And the competition came around, and I got a 9.56 second average, putting me in 9th place in the final round. So now let's try to give a less niche example, one that maybe you guys can relate a little more to. So let's say you're about to take your driving test. You're finally getting your license, but there's just one thing. You're scared that you're going to fail the test. And you know you're fully capable, just something about the nerves of someone writing down stuff while you're driving just gets to you, and you think you're going to fail. So let's visualize it. So you try to put yourself into a state of mind where you've already passed. And again, you're just trying to make it seem possible in your head. Next, you downplay it. You tell yourself, this should be easy. It's just me driving someone else around. They're taking notes and doing their own thing, but really, it's just me driving someone else around. Then, you set yourself a crazier goal. And instead of just trying to pass the test, you try to pass with 0 mistakes. And that's what you shift your focus to. You forget about just trying to pass. You want to make no mistakes. And even if you don't get your 0 mistakes, you'd still more than likely pass just from the effort that you put into it. And then you're done. Now, these simple steps
can really be applied to anything that you can consider a mental barrier. And although the thought process behind each step might be a little different, the general idea could still stand. And as I said before, as cliche as it might sound, anything can be done with the right approach and mindset. Thank you.